Hello, 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 and welcome to my channel, Tea Talks with Joe. Thank you for tuning in on this lovely Sunday. And today I am going to be discussing the second segment of control. The first segment I talked about control with kids controlling the household. This second segment I'm talking about control in friendships. And then the third segment, this is a three-part, I'm going to be talking about control pertaining to relationship and marriages. I am sitting on my couch trying to get some great lighting from the outside. So bear with me. Definitely working on getting some new equipment so that my videos can have a more quality, but the message needs to get out and it needs to be clear regardless of where I'm sitting. So I'm bent over on my couch in my front room. But so like I said, I'm going to be talking about control today, about friendships, really quick. As you know, my channel is Tea Talk with Joe, which I am discussing life situations, different circumstances that we experience in life, learning every day and spreading what I've learned and what I'm continuing to learn about changing my thought pattern, changing my thought process on how I handle situations that we deal with on a daily basis. And by doing so, I've learned how to protect my peace in a lot of different ways, and just basically looking at things at a different in a different vision of what has been taught or what I've experienced before, so that I can grasp and take control over myself and also protecting the peace of myself. And so that's why this channel is based on, and this is what I am sharing with you guys. And like I say, I'm learning every day, and what I've learned and what I am still learning is what I will be discussing on my channel. So really quick, don't want to hold too much time on that, but that's just an overview of my channel for those that do not know. Tea Talks with Joe, changing the thought process and the thought patterns of ourselves to protect ourselves in a peaceful manner. So let's jump right in. This is going to be on control in friendships. Okay, so I'm going to read this passage, and I'm not going to talk so fast. I'm going to slow down my talking so that the message is clear and that you all can get it the way that I wrote it, interpreted for you guys to receive. So here it is. Friendships. A lot of friendships are based off one-sided relationships, meaning one person is always reaping, benefiting, and controlling the friendship. The other party that is not benefiting from the relationship is the one that does the most compromising and bending to accommodate the other person's wants and wishes. Most of the time, these type of people are called empaths. I've seen and experienced myself in friendship where if the controlling friend has a situation they can't control, they will back off, start an argument, or play the victim to get their way. When this happens, the empath will compromise, go along with, justify, or even change their own plans to accommodate the other friend. These situations are definitely one-sided friendships. Many may think these type of friendships only happen to females, but no, it also happen in male friendships. And here are some examples to recognize if you're in a controlling friendship. Number one. You're always going and doing what the other party wants to do. They take control of the conversation and the decision of the plans. The empath will immediately agree with the arrangements and say things like, it's whatever you want to do, although they may not want to do that or want to do something else. They'll go along with the flow person, the empath. The empath will bail out on their own family to spend time with the other person. And the empath will be at the every begging call, verbally, emotionally, and physically. If you think about a relationship that you're in, where you're doing these things as part as being the empath, you're in a controlling friendship. And you're the one that's being at the every begging call of the other friend. You being there every time they verbally call, emotionally need, and physically need your presence. And you're dropping everything to accommodate their needs. That person is the empath. Number 2, you have to choose your choice of words. Avoid saying certain things or expressing how you really feel for the other person, the other friend, not to get upset or to play victim as if you offended them. So you have to be like stepping on eggshells when you're talking with them. You can't say certain things for them to feel a certain way. You can't even really express yourself without them feeling a certain type of way to play victim. Okay? Your choice of words, if you have to think about, I don't know how he or she is going to take this when I say this. That person you're dealing with is controlling, and it's controlling the friendship. And you're on the other end are being receptive of what they're dishing out. So you could play either part if it applies to you. You may be the controlling friend, or you may be the empath, the person that's okay with being controlled. Number 3, you as the empath, if you're the empath, will be at the every call, and we discussed that verbally, emotionally, and physically. The controlling friend would get upset if you don't answer the phone when they call, as if you don't have anything else to do, or your life is solely based and surrounded by them only. They want you isolated to them. They want you available to them at all times. The controlling friend would get upset if you're not at every event, whether they haven't invited you to an event or they are hosting an event. They will get upset if you are not there. Even if you have to work, either if you got your own event going on, even if you have a family event on, the only thing that matters to them is what they have going on. And that's even including vacations. They want you to attend every vacation that they have. And if you cannot attend them, they have a problem with that. And there's nothing that you can say or do or compromise with. They don't want to compromise to give any excuse. There's no excuse to them why you could not make it. Everything surrounds around them. And they are even okay with you being a third wheel as long as you are in their presence. If you are dealing with that, whether you're on the controlling end or you're on the empath friend, you are definitely in a controlling friendship. Okay. If you're the empath, it's okay. Oh, this is number 4, sorry. You're the empath, it's okay with them not being there for you Rather, it's verbally, emotionally, or physically. The empath would not get offended and would not be so bothered if the controlling friend could not be there for them verbally, emotionally, or physically at their beck and call. Now, I'm not saying being there as a friend, because friends supposed to show up. This is when it's in a controlled situation, like if they miss an event or they couldn't call you back. The empath would be okay with that because they understand that everything is not about me. You know, my other friend has other obligations. They have other friends. If you're the empath, you're very understanding of that. If you're the controlling friend, you have a zero tolerance for it. Because your expectation of a friend is that they're obligated to do what you want them to do, when you want them to do it, and how you want them to do it. If that applies to you, you're the controlling friend. And then if it doesn't, then you're the empath because you're more understanding. Okay? Dealing with the empath, the controlling friend excuses for not being there is justified and validated with them. But that would not be the same for you if the shoe was on the other foot. So if you're the empath, you understand the excuse why your friend could not be there. And you're okay, you're justified and it's validated, but that would not apply for you if the shoe was on the other foot. The controlling friend would have a zero tolerance for it. It's gonna be a problem, an argument, some type of disagreement to where they can make, for them to feel the victim as if you owe them something. The empath of the relationship is usually the stronger friend. Think about that. The empath of the relationship is usually the stronger friend mentally. That's why it don't break them when the other friend don't show up in their time of need. The empath is very strong because they know how to carry on so much. And the majority of the time, the empath is carrying a lot of other people's weight, not just a friend. So those little petty things like, you didn't call me back, why didn't you call me back? You didn't come to my daughter's event. Why did you do that to me when I was looking forward to you to come? The empath knows how to stand alone. The controlling friend doesn't. Because they're pulling on someone to be at their every beck and call. And the majority of the time, the empath is carrying the controlling friend mentally. That controlling friend is very needy. The controlling friend needs the empath mentally. They need their physical appearance, and they need them verbally because they can't stand alone. And that's why they trip. When the empath friend doesn't come through for them or cannot come through for them. Now, I know other situations happen and there's other scenarios. This is from my experience as well as what I have witnessed in other people, friendships. And honestly, I believe that this is maybe 8 out of 10 right on it. If you think about some friendships that you are in. If you think about some friendship that you are in, this is hitting right on it. If you are in a controlling friendship. Number 5, the controlling friend don't want you to be friends with people they are not friends with. This is how you recognize when you are in a controlling friendship. We did step 1, 2, 3, 4. We're now at 5. The controlling friend don't want you to be friends with people they are not friends with. They are okay with limiting your friendship circle, although you like the person they are not friends with. They are okay with limiting your social life so that they are benefited, and reaping more of you, but pulling something away from you. They're okay to pull from you so that you can give more to them. When this happens, you really got to ask yourself these 2 questions. A, why would they want to eliminate me? Why would they want to eliminate people out of my life? If this is you, if you're the empath dealing with a controlling friend, you need to ask yourself, why would they want to eliminate people out of my life? And B, why am I allowing them to do so? Now, we talked about the empath being a strong person, but it's carrying the controlling friend, and the majority of the time, everybody else they surround with. So, 2 questions. A, why would they want to eliminate people out of my life? And B, why am I allowing them to do so? Answering those 2 questions will bring a revelation to a lot of your friendships, period. The empath will also allow the controlling friend to talk them out of a relationship or a marriage. I'm going to go back because I think that needs to be said again, because it's deeper than that empath have a deeper issue than being controlled. Because that second question, why am I allowing them to do so? Why is the empath okay with being controlled? So I'm going to read this again. Answering those 2 questions will bring a revelation to a lot of the empath's relationships, period. That's all the relationship that they are encountered with. The empath will also allow the controlling friend to talk them out of a relationship or marriage. Think about this one really hard. How many of you have had a friend or currently have a friend that don't like or agree with the person that you are dating or you are married to? Be careful and think for yourself, because a lot of people in these type of friendships are having a lot of argument with their spouses over what the friend did or what the friend have said. There has been many a times where I've had previous friends, we're no longer friends, that have expressed such a strong opinion about my relationships that has made me think the way that they think, because they're controlling. And I was the empath previously. That's past tense. Now, I've never left a relationship or a marriage or dropped a friend because the controlling friend has convinced me to do so. I thought for myself, but however, there were situations and there were cases where they definitely tried to talk me out of it, because that was their opinion, that's the way they felt, and they thought that I should feel exactly the way they feel because they said it. They had been it been a one-sided friendship, and I've gone along with everything that they wanted to do. I've gone to vacations. I've done everything that they wanted to do. But when I didn't do that, that person began to back off. Because when they lose control, the first thing they're going to say, you changed. No. Well, yeah, I did change. I've grown. Or I've learned to stop allowing myself to be in situations where I'm being controlled by you, or I'm fed up. And just because I'm taking a different approach or I'm speaking up for myself and I'm not going along with everything that you dishing out, is you've changed. No, I've grown. And changing, and growing is a part of change that a lot of people, especially a controlling friend, can't hang on to. They're intimidated about that. So they have to go and find somebody else to control that is not growing mentally. And they like to hang around those group of people so that they can always be in control. So I'm going to read this again. Be careful and think for yourself, because a lot of people in these type of friendships are having a lot of arguments with their spouses over what the friend did or what the friend said. The controlling friend is weighing too heavy in households, relationships, and marriages. You have a lot of people laying down at night, supposed to be having good pillow talk, and they're arguing over one of the party's friend that has too much to say and that's influencing that person in a controlling manner. The empath is allowing the controlling friend to take time away from their spouse to accommodate their own time. The empath is allowing, because that controlling friend can only suggest, but the empath will allow the controlling friend to take time away from their spouse to accommodate their own time. They're okay with you ditching what your husband or your wife or a person that you're dating made arrangements for, so you can go and hang out with them. And again, if you're an empath, ask yourself, why are you okay with allowing this to happen? Why are you okay with being controlled? And why are you okay with eliminating possible good friendships and good relationships to accommodate that one person, the controlling friend? Why are you okay with eliminating the possibilities of you growing in a relationship that may be good for you? But the controlling friend is pulling you in another direction. Whether they're trying to convince you mentally not to hang out with this person, or convince you mentally not to date this person. Now, in some cases, if that person is not good for you to date, that's a whole nother story. We're talking about the friend that is controlling the situation for you to accommodate their needs over anybody else's need. You know yourself when somebody is not good for you. So you don't need anyone to tell you that. But I'm just saying, as far as the controlling friend is manipulating you mentally so that they can have you to themselves. So why are you okay with that? To accommodate all what you could have. To sacrifice all that you can have to accommodate one person. Most of the time, the empath is allowing themselves to be controlled in every relationship they are encountered with. If you are an empath, think about that. Think about the relationships you have with some of your siblings. Think about the relationship that you have had while dating. Think about the relationships you done had with other friends. So most of the time, the empath is allowing themselves to be controlled in every relationship they are encountered with. Even work relationships, you don't think about that. But in some work environments, the empath is okay with being controlled, or they are being controlled, and they haven't changed their ways of that to not allow it. So I ask you this again, why are you okay with being controlled? This type of acceptance runs deeper than we can think. It can hit in so many different aspects of life, but it runs deeper than what we can think. Number 6. It's my husband walking around. Sorry about the noise. Number 6. The controlling friend will put you in some jacked up situations to benefit or to protect themselves. Now, this one is a tough one. The controlling friend will put you in some jacked up situations to benefit or to protect themselves. They will use you, whether it's financially, or use you to do their own dirt and don't care how it backfires on you. I'm going to read that again. They will use you, whether it's financially, or use you to do their own dirt and don't care how it backfires on you. They don't even care to protect you, but they call you their friend. But they want you to protect them. That word dirt can apply to any dirty situation: robbing, stealing, cheating, manipulating, lying, etc. They use you to do their dirt and will leave you to deal with the consequence. And here's the kicker. They talked you into being used and you accepted it. They talked you into being used and you accepted it. If this applies to you, ask yourself, why were you okay and accepted being used or set up for bait? Ask yourself, why were you okay and you accepted being used or set up for bait? The first answer that may come to your mind is loyalty. And honestly, that word loyalty is being applied too recklessly. Too recklessly, is that a word? Too reckless. The first answer that comes to mind is loyalty. And honestly, the word loyalty is being applied too reckless. Let me correct my grammar. Is it loyalty or are you an empath? Is it loyalty or are you an empath? I've been an empath in all types of relationships, y'all, but I had to change my thought pattern, and I had to change my thought pattern and my thought process and look at life in a different manner to stop attracting narcissistic behavior. I'm going to read that again. I had to change my thought pattern and my thought process of life. I had to look at things in a different manner. I had to think of things in a different manner so that I would stop attracting narcissistic behavior. And that's from any type of relationship. You can attract narcissistic behavior. Your friend that you're dealing with, the controlling friend, could be a narcissist. And this is just FYI. Oh, I left my spot there. This is just a FYI. Most controlling people may have one or only two friends. And it's not good to have, a whole large group of friends, because we all know that you can't just call people your friend. That word weighs very heavy when you call someone, this is my friend. But most controlling people have not too many friends. They may have one or two. Okay, and that's just a FYI. That's something to look out for when you're talking to and getting to know people. If they don't have a large circle, or I wouldn't say a large circle, but a couple of people that they hang out with or call and have conversations with. If they tell you straight off the jump, I don't have that many friends, girl, I got one friend, I think I'm gonna be a little careful before I jump right into that friendship or jump right into that relationship. I want to know why you only have one friend. So I need to analyze you a little bit. When the empath stop allowing, okay, I'm jumping in another passage. Don't mean to jump too quick, but here we go. When the empath stop allowing the controlling friend to control their relationships and social life, life period, the controlling friend would either get upset, start an argument, play the victim, or will leave the friendship. They're going to get upset, start an argument, play the victim, or basically leave the friendship or find a reason to back off of the friendship. When this happens, those of us who are empaths, stand strong. I'm about to go into that, but I'm not. Empath people, stand strong. Don't bend to validate your decision on why you're choosing not to be controlled. When that controlling person eliminate themselves from your life, don't bend to validate the decision on why you're choosing not to be controlled. Don't let their pity party distract your well-being. Don't compromise yourself to make them feel better. Demand respect and stay on what you require as for being their friend. A lot of times when you are the empath and you may have a feeling that the controlling friend is bothered by something that you have done, something that you have said, or you didn't do something to accommodate them, you want to start justifying why you didn't do those things instead of saying, I did not want to come to the event. You can't tell them that because you're afraid of them arguing with you, playing victim, or them leaving the friendship. Empath, you got to stand strong, because if you saying the simple words of, I apologize, I cannot make your event. If you want to give them an excuse why, then that's fine too. You're in a relationship with that person. Hey, and that is due in some cases. I cannot make your event. I apologize. I'm going to go to lunch with my mother, or I'm going to take my daughter out. And that friend should be okay with that. But the controlling friend, they're not going to be okay with that. And when they strike up that argument, and they start throwing a pity party, they can do one or two things. They can have a conversation with you and get on one accord, or in some cases, they may lead a friendship, depending on how intense and ticked off they are. When they leave it, or even when they get upset, empath, stand your ground. Don't go to validating. Don't go to justifying to accommodate them on how the way that they feel. If they are a true friend, they will respect your decision, talk to you and apologize for their actions, and will be willing to continue the friendship without backsliding to their own ways. Excuse me, my leg hurts. Sometimes, you can have that conversation with that controlling friend a couple of times, and they'll say, okay, well, I understand, no problem. And you guys go on with the friendship, but then you find yourself right back to one of their pity parties of them getting upset, wanting to argue with you because things are not going their way. Okay, I'm going to read this next paragraph. We all have to recognize these signs at the beginning of a friendship. Honestly, most of the time, we see the signs, but we overlook them because we're so caught up on having a new relationship with this friend until the newness runs out and reality sets in. It's like a new car. Sometimes we purchase a vehicle and it may not be what we really want, but it'll do for now. And that's how it is sometimes in some friendships. So at the beginning, you need to really analyze and know if this is something that you really want in a friend, or you're going to be dealing with something that I just want for now until I've grown mentally and know how to stand my own ground and not be controlled. And then you're ready to be done with that friendship. So you have to catch it at the beginning. Make the decision. Everybody that comes along and wants to talk to you don't deserve to be your friend. You don't have to bring them into your circle. You don't have to bring them in to be a part of your life. A friendship should be like any other relationship. I need to analyze you. I may need to go on a couple of lunch dates with you. Talk to you a little bit. A person would tell you in conversation, the first couple of conversations, who they really are. So you need to be taking heed to that then. Before you bringing them around your other friends, they're meeting your family, and now they bestie. Can't do that, because you're going to be like this situation with the car. You're going to purchase that vehicle, and it's not really what you want, but it'll do for now. We have to change our thought pattern from the beginning of a new relationship. Analyze it and really consider if it brings us peace into our lives. So in conclusion, Ian Van Zandt said, we teach people how to treat us. I totally agree with this statement. If we don't set the standards in the beginning, we either create the controlling person or we add on to their behaviors. If you're in a situation like what I've discussed in this video, ask yourself the why questions. Initiate the conversation and address the issue that you're having with the friend before the explosion happens, before the disconnect happens and you're no longer friends. If you want to continue being friends with that person, some people, you might need to just walk away. It was never intended on you to be their friend. It never was intended on you to be calling them bestie. You just jumped in it too soon. Make the right decision for yourself and be okay if the other party leaves the friendship when you have to address this conversation. When you have to have that conversation with them about the controlling issue, you have to go into it knowing if I say what I need to say to protect myself and protect my own peace, I definitely got to be okay if this person decides to leave the friendship. It's tough, but we got to do the work. That's my video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope that you got something out of this message today. If you did, hey, hit the like button, hit subscribe, follow me. I'm new to this YouTube channel, but I am definitely looking forward to growing and doing much more. My videos, well, like I say, each one is just getting better, and you guys subscribe and grow with me. Grow with me, share my videos. Let's all learn and grow together. It's tough, but we got to do the work, okay? Until my next video, love and protect your peace. It's been great talking to you guys on this Sunday evening. Remember, the next segment will be coming up. It's going to be on control in relationships and marriages. Again, thank you for tuning in.